So we're back. Golgari, Reanimator, and Pauper, although Reanimator might not technically be the most correct term, potentially Dredge, Golgari self-mill, however you want to call it. So this is basically a deck that is looking to reanimate big creatures via a self-mill strategy. So the big creatures we're going to reanimate. The most prominent one is Lotleth Giant. ETB, deal 1 damage to target opponent for each creature in your graveyard. So get a bunch of creatures into our graveyard, reanimate this thing, deal a whole bunch, and then it's just also a big 6/5. Also, all the water cyclers, so Generous, Ent, and Troll, which can just put themselves into the graveyard and then we can reanimate them. The reanimation effects we are playing are Dread Return and Exhume. So either hardcast this for 4 or flash it back if we have enough fodder creatures, and Exhume obviously can just work. So some of the best strategies, of course, can just be turn 1, cycle the Troll, turn 2, Exhume. We get a 6/5, has to be triple blocked on turn 2. Then there's all of the self-milling cards themselves. So Mire Triton, 2 mana, 2/1 with Death Touch, ETB mill 2, gain 2 life. Blanchwood Prowler, 2 mana, 1/1, ETB mill 3, put a land from among them into your hand. If you don't, put a +1 counter on Blanchwood Prowler. And Satyr Wayfinder, look at the top 4 on ETB, get a land, put the rest in the graveyard. There's also, to a lesser extent, Scrapwork Mutt, ETB Rummage, and it has Unearth for 2. There is also Stinkweed Imp, which if we mill over or discard, we can use to dredge. Stinkweed Imp also has uses outside of just being a dredge card in that it is a pretty good blocker since it trades with anything, and then we can always get it back. And so mainly we're going to be self-milling ourselves, trying to get a whole bunch of creatures into our graveyard, and then eventually we just reanimate a lot with giants and try to kill our opponent that way. We also have Acorn Harvest. Since we're going to be putting things in the graveyard, we can pay 4 to make 2 1/1s, or far more likely, flash it back for 2 and 3 life to make 2 1/1s, which pairs very nicely with the Dread Return, since it gives us 2 out of 3 bodies that we need to flash this back. Also, Gnaw to the Bone in the main deck. Good way to gain a whole bunch of life against aggro. The lands are pretty straightforward. Golgari lands with, of course, Haunted Mire to find off of Generous, Ent, or Troll, but there is also a Geothermal Bog and Wooded Ridgeline, which can be alternatively found by Ent/Troll. And we need these red sources in the deck for 2 reasons. 1, Scrapwork Muck's Unearth, and 2, sideboard red cards. So then in the sideboard, there is an additional copy of Gnaw to the Bone for the aggro decks. And notably, every single card in the sideboard has flashback because we're going to be putting tons of stuff in our graveyard. So Ray of Revelation to destroy enchantments. Do note that we do not have any white sources in the deck, so we do have to mill/discard this. Ancient Grudge for artifacts. Flaring Pain to deal with fog effects or prismatic strands. We don't want to go through all the trouble of reanimating a Lotleth Giant only for them to be able to just completely blank the trigger. And Rotten Reunion, exile up to 1 target card from a graveyard, create a 2/2 zombie with decay, which means it can't block, and when it attacks, you have to sack it at the end of combat. For opposing graveyard decks, also just nice that it makes it, again, a token for Dread Return fodder. Anyway, that is what I'm calling Golgari Reanimator, so let's jump into Pauper and see how it goes. On the play for round 1, we've got turn 2 Troll off and Exhume, seems pretty good to me. Keep excited to see the first Sticker Goblin, yeah. What a wonderful card. See, Pauper is the best of the 1v1 formats in terms of having the least bullshit, but there's still tons of bullshit in the format. The biggest problems are probably Monarch Initiative, but there's a bunch of other individual problems like Sticker Goblin, All That Glitters, Terror. Also, red in general, I think, is a problem color right now, and probably Synthesizer needs to get banned. All right, Swamp, go. Citadel, Gate. All right, cycle the Troll, go grab another Swamp, untap, play this, cast Exhume. Turn 2, 6/5. Boros Guildgate. Cat. All right. I'm going to play Blanchwood Prowler, I guess. Trigger. All right, grab this back. We'll deliver Lotleth Stinkweed. So yeah, sure. Play this. Combat. Attack with the Troll. If they attack, I'll block them because I want them to have to waste mana to get it back. Also, this 1/1 is... Okay, well, it depends on what they hit off for Fiend. Discards a land. They chose not to attack. Do I want to dredge Stinkweed Imp? Probably. Dredge, Stinkweed Imp, we milled over a bunch of stuff, including Dread Return. So let's see. So Scrapwork, Trigger, Rummage away Stinkweed. Do I want to dredge this? Yes, I do. Oh boy, this is going to be quite the turn. Scrapwork, discard Stinkweed, dredge it. All right, our opponent's conceded because we're going to Dread Return these 3, get Lotleth back, smack them with Troll. I don't know if that's actually lethal. I'd have to count the number of creatures. 7? Yeah, okay. So let's see. It's Gates. So we probably want Flaring Pain to get around Prismatic Strands. Their deck is also super slow, so we can probably cut Gnaw to the Bone in this matchup. They also play Modern Age, but I don't think that's reason enough to bring in Ray of Revelation. Like, it's just a bunch of small dinky creatures on their side, then they've got Basilisk Gate, which, if they have Basilisk Gate, the Knot of the Bone is not going to keep us alive for that long, probably. Let's just do this. I mean, I guess we can, like, Rotten Reunion Cat out of their graveyard. Nah, that seems so bad. Also, it depends on the timing. Let's just do this. All right, we've got 1 land, no land cyclers. This is a mole. Okay, keep this put back. Probably we want to res the Lotleth Giant and not have it in our hand. Although I can discard it to the Scrapwork Mutt. Let's just put Lotleth back, I think. Yeah, okay, done. Plains, Thraben. All right, play tap land, go. Basilisk Gate. All right, so let's just run out Satyr. I guess I could have played Mutt to trade here, but this feels like I just want to keep hitting lands. 4 lands and Scrapwork Mutt. All right, I guess I'll grab another forest. Keep this popped open. Yeah, maybe I should have just played Scrapwork Mutt. I don't know. What up, Gamer Heaven Games? Thraben hits us. We go to 18. The cat and another gate. All right, Generous Ent. We're somewhat close to being able to, let's see. So I guess I'm probably going to go Mutt, discard Acorn Harvest, cycle the Generous Ent, untap Dread Return Ent. That seems like the best move. So I don't want to attack, but I don't want to block either. If they block with the cat, I guess that's okay. I'm not sure. There's almost no chance I'm blocking with this, so let's just attack them. I don't think they'll block either, but even if they do, that's okay. Yeah, no blocks. Okay, so Scrapwork Mutt, trigger, ditch the Acorn Harvest, then we'll play a land, and over to them. And then we'll cycle Ent on the end step. So are they just Boros Gates, or did I miss blue the first game? I think they're just Boros Gates. Second Basilisk Gate. Pump the cat. Yeah, no blocks. So cycle the Ent. Let's go grab a red source. Then we untap. So I can just Dread Return this, which seems decent. Alternatively, I Mutt, discard this, then Dread Return, but I'm losing more creatures doing it that way. So let's go to combat. Attack with the Mutt. No blocks on their part. All right, play this. Dread Return on Generous Ent. Make food, and then over to them. So even if they play another gate this turn, we can still block the cat. But the cat will eventually get out of hand. Like the gates will eventually get out of hand. So we do have to be somewhat aware of that. Dawnbringer Cleric exiles Dread Return, sure. Plays another gate. They're going to have double gate activations pretty soon. So I can play this for Death Touch, which seems fine to me. All right, let's go Mire Triton. Trigger this. Milled Stinkweed Imp. That's pretty nice. Let's get this tap land into play. If I attack here, they can untap, kill Triton, but then they have to spend mana to do that. I think I'm okay attacking. All right, combat. Swing here. No blocks on their part. All right, let's play Wayfinder. Trigger. We bricked, but we did hit Dread Return. Wow, we hit Dread Return on Lotleth? Okay, probably just do that right now, eh? Dread, get Lotleth back, sack this, trigger. That was quite a lot of damage. Back to them. So if I block the cat, we trade, and then they just get a new cat. Rafine's Informant, ditching Prismatic Strands. No! Oh man, a third gate? Jeez. Guardian of the Guild Pack too. All right, so we got to mill Flaring Pain over now, I suppose. So attack, they just strands. So yeah, we got to mill Flaring Pain over. They also got a lot of defense, including this guy that's completely immune to any of our attacks. All right, so Dredge Stinkweed, milled, nothing of relevance over. So let's play Scrapwork Mutt, trigger this, ditch the Imp, dredge the Imp, Acorn Harvest. They have double gate activations, right? So that's plus 10. So I can't flashback Acorn Harvest because I can potentially just instantly die if I do that. Because if they play another gate, then they just double pump Guardian and we lose. All right, well, since we didn't hit... Actually, can I even make any attacks? Because if they do just... This is 12 damage right now, potentially 14 if they play another gate. And then we have to kind of block everything else. I think our best shot is to try to hit Dread Return to kill them with a Flaring Pain in the yard. My best bet is probably right now to... See, like, if I don't flashback the Mutt this turn, I can't next turn, because block these 4. We don't take lethal yet. I've got my food token. So let's reanimate Scrapwork Mutt. Actually, no, wait. This is pro monocolor, so I can block with the Mutt. Okay. So let's res the Mutt. Trigger, ditch the Imp, dredge the Imp. Still haven't hit. We did hit Dread Return, though. So combat. I want to attack with Lotleth, because even if they kill it, I can just get it back. I don't have a Lotleth in my graveyard right now, right? Yeah, I don't. So swing with Lotleth. I guess I could have also attacked with this. I assume they'll just strand, like, yeah, okay, this chump there. Or not chump there, but just block that. Yeah. All right, play this. There's nothing worth Dread Returning. So we just end. This thing dies. I guess attacking was pointless. I don't know. Like, they might have multi-blocked and then use strands, but I guess they don't have to. Like, I needed to force them to use the strands, I suppose. Gate on the cat. Gate on the cat. Yeah. All right, so we block with Mire Triton. So we at least trade. I do have 16 creatures in my yard, so that's, you know, a lot. Plays in or gets the cat back. Okay, what else? We got another mutt here. I'm just trying to put the Flaring Pain in my yard. So Dredge, Stinkweed, there's Flaring Pain. We have 17 creatures. So if I go Dread Return, eat all of these guys. Lotleth, I have 20, and then we can just kill them. All right, this is an instant, right? Yeah. Dread Return, target the Lotleth Giant, eat these guys. And this is exactly lethal. Trigger, cast Flaring Pain in response. All right, we got it. We're on the draw for round 2. This hand is okay. Although I don't like how many tap lands are in it, but it's fine. Forest. All right, no turn 1 elf or Utopia Sprawl is, I guess, nice. Play tap land, go. Cycles, Troll of Khazad-dûm. Oh no, we're the mirror match. Second forest, Satyr Wayfinder. All right, it's time to pop all the graveyards open. Yep, it's the mirror match. All right, well, tap land, go. Stinkweed mill, hits Dread Return, plays Bog. Take 1 from the Wayfinder. All right, this ought to be interesting. Prowler, sure, mills that. Another Dread Return, takes the swamp. Okay, cycle the troll, grab a swamp, untap. All right, what are we doing? Oh, what are we doing? All right, Blanchwood Prowler, trigger, take the forest. Am I cycling this? Probably not. Play tap land, go. Well, I know what I'm cutting for the sideboard matchups. Now, let's trade here. I'm surprised they're bothering to attack when they're ahead on creatures and have 3 Dread Returns. Blanchwood Prowler. Mills, gets a forest. Scrapwork Mutt, ditches Stinkweed, dredges Stinkweed. All their Dread Returns are in their graveyard. This is going to be a game. All right. So they can Dread Return, but they chose not to. So what am I doing? I probably just need to fill my graveyard up as much as possible, right? So let's play Blanchwood. Milled. We didn't hit a land. Okay, so play this. Let's play Mire Triton. Trigger this. Mill. Hit a Dread Return. Can't use it right now. So back to them. Dredges. Unearth Scrapwork. Dredge. They have 11 creatures in their yard. Also, their deck only has 20 cards left in it. They've also hit Gnaw to the Bone. So I'm going to guess that this match is going to come down to decking. Because the fact that we both have Gnaw to the Bone tells me that there's no way we can kill each other with Lotleth Giant. Dread Return on Satyr Wayfinder. I guess they're trying to like hit 20 creatures to try to one-shot us. Satyr mills more stuff over. My guess is they're trying to get to 20 creatures so they can just hit us in one turn. Gnaw to the Bone, gain a bajillion life, sure. Scrapwork, trigger, it's not around anymore. So do I have to leave Gnaw to the Bone up in case they kill us? They have 14 creatures in their yard. Like, it might be an issue. So if that's the case, the only thing I can actually play, I guess I can Mire Triton and then what? Like getting the Lotleth Giant back is irrelevant. So I should probably Dread Return something though. All right, let's go play this, play Mire. Actually, I can play Acorn, but that takes all my mana. Okay, play Mire. So there's Dread Return and we can Dread Return. The Lotleth Giant doesn't matter. More mill, I guess just a mill card, right? Like whatever is the highest mill card here, which is Satyr Wayfinder. All right, let's attack them. Swing. If they block, that's fine, because that means they have fewer creatures in play for Dread Return. It also means we get more creatures into our yard for Gnaw. Okay, they didn't block, obviously. So yeah, I guess we just Dread Return a Wayfinder. Dread Return on Wayfinder. Sack, sack, sack. Trigger. All right, we hit some more creatures. I don't want to tap out anymore because I'm afraid of dying to Lotleth, so let's just pass. Unearth Scrap Mutt. Trigger. Stinkweed. They have 15 creatures in their yard. Plays a forest. I mean, they will deck out before we will. Acorn Harvest from the yard. Acorn Harvest from the yard. So they can Dread Return twice for a total of... They're going to get 3 more creatures in their yard, so that's 18, so that's 36 damage. But we're gaining 26 off Gnaw to the Bone. Flashback. Lotleth. Total creature count 14. Sure, that resolves. Why aren't they Dread Returning their, like, not tokens? Yeah, Dread Return, trigger, cast Gnaw. All right, we're at 20. Attack, block, and that fizzles out. All right, do I want to Dredge Stinkweed Imp? I guess, because I don't have Dread Return anymore. Yeah, Dredge Stinkweed. Scrapwork, Scrapwork. No Dread Returns. They have a Dread Return left, right? They have 1 left. So we got to play something that actually trades with this stuff, right? So I can Scrapwork, discard Harvest, activate it from the graveyard, have 1 mana left, Dread Return on something, but I think I don't even gain as much life as if I just play Gnaw to the Bone. Yeah, so I guess let's just play Stinkweed and then hold Gnaw to the Bone open. Play Stinkweed, pass. Tap land, Combat. Swing, block, damage. We go to 14, Stinkweed triggers. Opponent hard casts Troll. All right. I don't think we're going to get an opportunity to gnaw better than what we have now, so let's just gnaw, gain a bunch of life, and we can try to block this stuff. Dredging the Stinkweed. We milled over Dread Return and another Gnaw to the Bone. I mean, I could just keep... Well, I can't block the Troll, right? But I can block this thing. We're at 48. They've got one Dread Return left, so they can Lotleth some whatever. The Ent straight up just blocks Lotleth Giant. I have 17 creatures, and I can go Harvest, Mutt, Harvest. I'll have 5 creatures. Can't do it twice. Do I even have 2 Dread Returns? I do. I feel like I just want to try to mill them out. So let's just get some blocking into play. First of all, play this. Secondly, let's just play the Ent. Yeah, let's just play the Ent. Cast Ent. This blocks Lotleth, and then they just have the Troll to attack with. They attack with the Troll. We can't block. We're at 42. Acorn Harvest. Flashback Acorn Harvest. Okay. Dread Return on Lotleth. They're dealing 15. All right, they're officially out of Dread Returns, right? They've exiled them all. They've exiled them all, and they've got... I mean, I guess they could cast a Lotleth. I don't think I want to dredge anymore. Maybe I do. I don't know. Yeah, sure. Let's dredge Stinkweed. We're still more cards than they have. Probably want to Dread Return this turn, but I'm not sure. We have 19 creatures and Acorn, so that they have no Gnaw to the Bone mana open. So can I kill them? We go Scrapwork, we Stinkweed, whatever, and then we've got Acorn. I think the thing is just we don't have enough Acorns, right? So I go Unearth Scrapwork, discard Acorn Harvest, draw another card, flashback Acorn, flashback Acorn. We're one short of doing it all the way. There's another Lotleth in their graveyard. So they have one Lotleth left, right? All their Exhumes are gone. I don't think I can kill them here. So I think I'm better off just playing Stinkweed, Acorn Harvest. Actually, wait. For some reason, I'm not counting Generous Ent. Yeah, so I've got Ent, Acorn, Mutt, right? And then I get 2 Lotleths back and they die. Yeah, that should kill them. So Acorn, then where is it? Unearth Mutt, trigger, ditch the Acorn, then Dread Return, targeting, where's Lotleth? Lotleth, eat here. Well, that's just going to exile, I guess. So whatever. Trigger, boom. And then where's the other Dread Return? Dread, Lotleth, sack. All right, we got him. Okay, so Rotten Reunion. Gnaw to the Bone so we don't die. What do I not want? Okay, is Exhume bad? Probably. I would think so, because they get their thing back as well, but I'm not sure, because we do have the Rottens to exile their own stuff, and it depends on like how quickly we can do it. Like, what do we have in our graveyard versus what do they have in their graveyard? I'm going to say that's probably not good. So let's cut Exhume, and then what is the next card that sucks in this matchup? The Lotleth Giants might honestly not even be that good, right? Because there's just so much Gnaw to the Bones, and like, it's either that or it's like the worst mill card, which is Mire Triton, right? I mean, this may be the Death Touch matters on here. Also, it gains 2, or maybe Blanchwood Prowler's bad. I'm not sure. I'm going to say at minimum we can cut one of the Lotleths. All right, let's cut 1 Blanchwood. All right, 1 land with Cycle Dudes and Rotten Reunions. Seems good to me. Keep. Swamp. I will also play a Swamp and pass. There's a lot of triggers in this matchup, and I presume we can just auto-yield to most of them. They cycle a Troll, get Haunted Mire, Cycles a Troll again, Haunted Mire. All right, we're going to cycle Ent, I guess. I'm just going to grab a Forest, because I probably want to cycle plus Rotten Reunion. All right, play Forest. Yeah, back to them. Blanchwood Prowler, trigger. Mills Lotleth, Forest, Lotleth. All right. Maybe I'm not supposed to Rotten Reunion until they, like, get something relevant. I don't know. Like, respond to their thing. All right. Troll, cycle. Let's grab the tap land. That is a lot of Rotten Reunions. Wow. Okay. Mutt, trigger. Let's rummage away Acorn Harvest. Play Swamp. Go. Let's pop these graveyards out because this is going to be relevant. Will they attack? Yeah, that's fine. I mean, I do 2, they do 1. That's fine by me. Blanchwood, trigger. Satyr, Exhume. So they kept Exhume in. All right, I'm going to Rotten Reunion the... Honestly, I think Troll might be a bigger problem than Lotleth Giant, but I'm not sure. Let's just hit Lotleth. All right, tap land. I guess I'm just going to block this Blanchwood Prowler now. So I want to hold up this Rotten Reunion. Yeah, let's just pass back to them. Plays a tap land. Scrap Mutt, trigger. Discards their own Rotten Reunion. Sure. No attacks. All right, well, I'm going to flashback mine on... So they can counter mine, technically. Boy, this is really awkward, eh? All right, Flashback Rotten Reunion targeting another Lotleth. Will they Rotten Reunion in response? No. All right. Well, in that case, let's cycle Troll. Okay, what am I doing? So Dread Return's irrelevant with that thing around, I guess, sort of. I mean, I can Rotten it. I can Rotten this, and then they can respond with that, and then I can Dread Return. Maybe I Dread Return Troll. So let's grab an untapped land. All right. Let's just put a bunch of power into play. Rotten Reunion targeting their Rotten Reunion. And now they have to respond. Rotten Reunion are Acorn Harvest. Really? That was not the card I expected them to target. Sure. So then mine fizzles. Now I can just go Dread Return the Troll. And then Dread Return the Troll. All right, I have 2 Trolls now. Are they going to do the same thing? Yep. Dread Return. Plays a land. Okay. I mean, they can triple block, I guess. Are we winning this race? Sort of. Combat, swing. So if they triple block, the Trolls trade 1 for 1. Yeah, put this Troll first. Damage. Trolls trade off. They take 6. Then I'll play Blanchwood. Trigger this. All right, I could go Rotten, Dread Return. That seems good. Rotten on the Troll. Rotten on their Scrap Mutt. Dread Return, targeting Troll. Eat these guys. No, they had another Rotten Reunion. Our Dread Return gets destroyed. I mean, I thought they might, but they had only 2 cards left in their hand. Like, I thought it was a reasonable shot. Now we're just way behind, eh? Oh, they also just have something to hard cast? Jeez. Oh, and they're attacking with their Decay Zombie, just to get more damage in. Sure. All right, well, we're at 9. I can't even trade with this, right? Because it's a 5/7. I can Rotten their Rotten now before they get a chance to untap, which seems decent-ish. Probably have to do that. All right, so Blanchwood, trigger, get a land back. Ooh, Knot of the Bone. And a Dread Return. So Rotten their Rotten. So then I Unearth Scrapwork and Dread Return on Ent. Yeah, so Unearth Scrapwork Mutt. Trigger, discard this one. Drew another Ent. Play this. Dread Return, get my Ent. I can't block their Troll still though, right? Actually, hang on. So if they attack... No, I need to Dread Return now because I'm going to lose the Mutt. So Dread Return, get back Ent, or Mire Triton. I guess Mire Triton trades equally, but I gain the life immediately. What am I doing? They attack with everything. If the only blocker I have is whatever I just Dread Returned right now, then I trade for Generous Ent and take 8 and go to 1. That seems pretty bad. Huh. 3, 4. Let's get Mire Triton. Sack. Mill. I mean, I guess I could hold this back to block 2 things, right? And then I just take the 6 from the Troll. Yeah, let's do that. No attacks. We also milled over Rotten Reunion, and we have Knot of the Bone in our graveyard. So we just need to survive, like, the turn. Swings with Troll. All right, we're at 5. Another Troll. Yikes. Am I dredging? Yes. Dredge. Gnaw, Rotten. That's it, right? So we need to triple block the Troll, which sucks. Oh, that sucks so much. All right. Well, and the Rotten Reunion can't block. So we go Stinkweed. I guess I can play Ent. No, I can't play Ent and have Knot of the Bone up. So I play Stinkweed. And yeah, I guess we just pass. I guess I'm going to cycle this Ent no matter what. So let's just do it now and play the land. Back to them. Combat. Swings. So we block here and we take 14 and gain a bunch of life. So block here. Knot of the Bone. 23. And then we're still taking a bunch of damage, and the only creature we get to hang on to is Stinkweed Imp. And then this Troll is still a problem. Oh, come on. Their draw for the turn was Dread Return. Fuck off. Come on. Really? Another Gnaw. It doesn't matter. We can't block anything. Yeah, so my intuition was correct. I am supposed to exile the Trolls in this matchup and not Lotleth Giant. I mean, I can double Knot of the Bone, but then what? I guess I'm not out of it yet, so let's just pass back to them. Cracks the food, sure. I can block this Ent, and then I can gain a bunch of life. So block here, and then before damage, Gnaw. All right, we're at 32. We can survive the hit. And then when we Gnaw again, we'll have another creature in our yard. I don't even need to do it now, actually. I can keep dredging. All right. I mean, I can Rotten their Dread Return. I think I'm just supposed to not do anything, though. Dredge Stinkweed. That's a bunch of Knot of the Bones, eh? And Dread Return. All right, well, play Stinkweed. Back to them. Swing. Block this guy. So Blanchwood dies, we're at 6. Generous Ent. Yeah. All right, we don't have infinite time, so let's see. All I'm going to do on my turn is Dredge Stinkweed, play it, and I guess just hold up Knot of the Bone. So it's 3, 3, and then I still have enough for Rotten Reunion, so let's just not do anything right now. Dredge Stinkweed. All right, we finally hit Acorn Harvest. So Stinkweed. If I Acorn, then I have to Gnaw, and then I don't have the mana left over to stop Dread Return. Although, if they Dread Return all of these guys, that's fine. So Acorn. Make some 1/1s. I'm going to gnaw regardless of what happens, so let's just do it now, just to make sure that they don't have any interaction with that. All right, we're at 35, and we can block a troll. They pop food. Swing, triple block, a troll. We've got one more Acorn Harvest in our deck. So damage, we're at 24. One of the trolls dies. You gotta be kidding me with, like, their draws are just insane. They just keep drawing good stuff. I think we can still win this, though. All right, Dredge Stinkweed. Although we are running out of cards. Scrapwork, Scrapwork. They're at 20, and they can be at 23 because of the food token, right? We've got 19 creatures in our graveyard. Can we kill them? So we go Scrapwork, Mill Stinkweed, and Dredge it. And then we have another Scrapwork, and then we can play Stinkweed and Dread Return the Lotleth Giant, / if we hit Acorn Harvest. All right, let's go for it. So Unearth, let's just pop this all out. So ditch Stinkweed, Dredge. We have how many creatures? Doesn't tell me. 21. So Scrapwork, Dredge, get Stinkweed back, play this. 23 exactly, plus the Dread Return. So Dread, target, Lotleth, sack, sack, sack. 24 creatures. Boom. Lethal. Whew. I still don't know how to navigate that matchup. I'm not sure if you're supposed to leave an Exhume or not. I guess the number one card that you need to hit with Rotten Reunion is Troll. On the play for round 3, we've got tap land into Generous Ents and like a bunch of good stuff. All right, keep this. We're going to be a little slow out of the gate because our first land's a tap land, but other than that, it's fine. I think the sideboarding was fine, but Rotten Reunion needs 100% to hit the Troll, and I think you can Rotten Reunion more aggressively. Yeah, that's probably the case. Snow Forest into Arbor Elf. All right, this might be rough. Man, if we just get annihilated out of the game. All right, let's play Ridgeline. Back over to them, and then we'll cycle Ent. If we can Exhume the Ent, that'd be pretty nice. So just don't Thermokarst us. Cycle Ent. Oh no, we can't Exhume now because they get an Ent. Plays a tap land. Okay. They didn't attack, which I'm kind of confused by. I guess if they have another cycler, they're going to cycle. All right, Ent. Do I just grab another tap land? I kind of want black in case they blow up our Haunted Mire. So let's just grab another Haunted Mire. All right, Blanchwood? Blanchwood. This one. Trigger, Forest, play, tap land, go. Yeah, untapping a land. Yeah, they're going to cycle. Cycles another Ent. Grabs Rimewood Falls? Really? So they're Teamer? Huh. Utopia Sprawl. Naming blue. Untap. 4 mana. Thermokarst. Yep. Why is blue in the deck? That just confuses me. Well, I mean, I can't really afford to Exhume, so play this, and then I guess I'm just going to attack them with Blanchwood. I heard in one of your streams you live in SoCal too. Do you know Dave? I mean, how am I supposed to answer that? I know people named Dave. Do I know the specific Dave that you're talking about? I don't know. Oh, with the fucking Thermokarsts. I hate this bullshit. Yeah, sure. Float. All right. Ent, cycle. Let's go grab another one. The last Haunted Mire. At least it seems like they don't have anything big to actually pay off. All right, I do need to have the second black in play for Dread Return, so play Haunted Mire. Back to them. Why blue? What does the blue get you? All right, now they make a bunch of mana. I assume this is Boarding Party or something. Oh, and even more. Annoyed Altasaur. Cascades into Lanor Visionary. Draw. I mean, I guess I can Exhume, and then they get an Ent, and we get an Ent, and our Ent blocks everything. So maybe that would have been fine. I don't know. Okay, so yeah, let's just Dread Return. Ent blocks the Altasaur, blocks all their guys. Blocks Boarding Party if they play that. And we also got Stinkweed in here to block their stuff. They're obviously also playing Skred because they're playing Snowlands. Monvoli, Acid Moss are Haunted Mire, sure. All right, well, they obviously don't have anything actually good to play. So I guess we just play Stinkweed? Yeah, all right. Play Stinkweed. Can I actually attack them? They can multi-block, and then I kill their Altasaur. So it doesn't seem great. Yeah, let's just pass back to them. Another land. I do like that in this matchup, their deck is not really full of that many good top decks. They've just got the 8 Cascaders and then maybe like Crimson Fleet Commodore. Although if they do ever play Crimson Fleet Commodore, then we're in a really tough position. Fire and Ice to tap down Ent. So that's why they're splashing blue, or at least one of the reasons. Are they now realizing that they actually still don't have any good attacks because I just Stinkweed block their Altasaur and then Dredge it? Swing. Oh, they just have Skred on top of that? Sure. Okay. No blocks. Yeah, we'll take 8. Dredge Imp. That's some more stuff. All right, play a land. Play Stinkweed Imp. Do I Exhume here? I still don't think I do. Play Imp. Back to them. 6 lands. All the mana in the world. And nothing to do with it. Pop this food token. Troll of Khazad-dûm, which I can't play at the moment. Even if I could play it, it wouldn't be that helpful. Like, it would be fine. I'm just going to keep waiting, I guess. I don't have to beat them immediately. Like, if we ever do deploy the troll, then they have to triple block, and we get to kill their Altasaur, and then they're just, like, on the back foot. One volley. Oh, my God. Yeah. Float. All right, well, now we're going to cycle the troll. Cycle. Go grab, I guess, this tap land. No, I'm going to grab a swamp in case I happen to just draw Dread Return. Scrapwork Mutt it is. Scrapwork Mutt. Trigger. I guess I'm going to discard Gnaw to the Bone. I still can't. I'm trying to think of a situation where Exhume is actually going to be useful in this matchup. I'll just discard Gnaw to the Bone. Another Scrapwork Mutt. All right, Scrapwork Mutt. This one, this one. This time I'll discard Exhume. Lotleth Giant. I'm going to Dread Return, and I'm going to wind up Dread Returning Imp. So let's just attack with the Imp to get a damage in. If they block with their Altasaur, that's fine too. All right, Dread Return. I kind of want Lotleth, but I don't have a way of getting it out of my hand right now. Yeah, so get the troll back. Sacking Imp, Scrapwork, Blanchwood. All right, over to them. Mole Drifter. Okay, so that's mainly... I thought it might be Mole Drifter is what they want in their deck. Like, you make a bunch of mana. Makes sense. Bunch of more mana. Another Annoyed Altasaur. Cascades into Fire Ice. Ice the Ent, sure. My God, and they drew Skred after all of that? Jesus. We have 10 creatures in our yard. I'm trying to figure out, do I not block in an attempt to have more creatures for Dread Returning on the Lotleth Giant at some point? Oh, fuck right off with that. And Thermokarstar Redland? Seriously? All right, we take 6, sure. We kind of have to dredge here, right? Yeah, so dredge Stinkweed. There's another Gnaw to the Bone, Scrapwork that we can't get back. So I can go Imp, no, I don't have Dread Return, right? What do I have? Gnaw, Scrapwork, Gnaw. It's just Gnaw. If I play Imp, I can block, but then I can't Gnaw to the Bone this turn, and I'm going to just die if I just play the Stinkweed. So I guess I just pass and Gnaw. All right, back to them. So we're going to gain 22 life. Oh my God, they have another bomb payoff? Okay, fine. Boarding Party. Yeah, cascades into another Fire and Ice. God damn it with this thing. Yeah, Ent gets tapped down. Sure. I mean, my only real out is to try to get to a position where I can Dread Return a Lotleth and kill them, right? So I just can't afford to block with Scrapwork. Swing, 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 swing. 6, 12, 18, 20, 22. Yeah, I mean, I can survive this, so Gnaw to the Bone. 31. No blocks. Dredge Stinkweed. We didn't hit Dread Return either. This is a problem, because they've been hitting all of our lands, so we can't double spell. All right, well, we still got Gnaw to the Bones to stay alive, right? So back to them. Combat, no attacks. All right. Gnaw here because we need breathing room. Let's gain a bunch of life. Okay, Scrapwork, discard Lotleth Giant, or Stinkweed. I don't know. No, let's discard Lotleth. I don't have a Lotleth, right? Yeah, so I discard Lotleth. So Scrapwork, ditch this. Well, there's Dread Return. All right, back to them. Well, they didn't attack last turn. Avenging Hunter for the initiative. We're at 14 creatures in the grave. And we can Dread Return 3 more to the grave, so we go up 2, we net 2 creatures. Acorn Harvest. The problem is, so okay, I can Dread Return Lotleth right now and deal them 13, but then I'm in a problem position where I don't have a second Lotleth to hit them with. What if I Suicide Attack into them, right? They either take the damage and then die, or they block, which I assume they'll block. And then we Dread Return, and then we're still short, right? Because we go swing, 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 assume they only block some of them. The problem is hitting them the second time, and the Stinkweed Imps are in our hand. If I play Stinkweed Imp, they never have to block it. I guess it either lets us steal the initiative or they block it, and then it's in our graveyard. If I attack with Ent, they are almost certainly going to block it, right? The Scrapworks are just free blocks on their part. So how much damage do they actually have on the board? 5, 11, 17, 19, 21, 27, 28, 29, plus 2 from Forge, so 31. I guess I can actually Dread Return a Mildude and then flashback Dread Return, right? In the hopes that I hit. So do I have like Satyr Wayfinder here? Where do I have? Ent, Satyr Wayfinder. All right, so Dread Return on Satyr Wayfinder. Trigger, total brick, but we hit 3 creatures and another Dread Return. So we have 16 creatures. All right, they're dead. Dread Return, target Lotleth, sack, sack, sack. Ba-boom. 18 exactly. Okay, so the only things that I can think of being actually useful in this matchup are another Gnaw. Rotten Reunion can eat their cycle creatures so that we can actually exhume early. And then Ray of Revelation on Utopia Sprawl, but I'm not going to do that. I also have to mill the Ray of Revelations. Like, I can't just have them in my hand. All the red cards are useless. So I think these are the only considerations. So then the only question after that is what is not a consideration to keep in the deck? And we never cut these. We're definitely not cutting these. We're definitely not cutting Acorn Harvest. I feel like 3 Knot of the Bones is enough. I probably don't need more. They just turbo out to where like the bodies are not even useful. So I feel like Blanchwood Prowler is our worst mill creature. So I think I can cut these for these, although maybe 4 is even too many. What if I just have 3 Rotten Reunions? Poor OP doing all that work, building an army, boom. Should have picked a counterspell of some graveyard hate, but they play LD, so no pity is warranted. Indeed, no pity is warranted. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna cut 3 Blanchwoods for 3 Rotten Reunions in an attempt to make these Exhumes actually good against their cyclers. So let's do that. Remember, the rule is if your deck is bullshit, you don't get to complain about anything that happens to you. All right, well, we have 1 land and 1 cycler. And if we just get LD'd, then we lose. But we've got turn 2 Exhume, so let's keep. Forest, Elf, play this, go. Land, Utopia, name's Blue. Oh, hey, it's going to be LD, isn't it? Of course it is. Forest cycle, let's go grab tap land. And they've gone to 6 mana on turn 2. It's insane. All right, well, I wish that wasn't a tap land now so I could cycle Troll. If we get LD'd again, we lose. I mean, hell, we lose to a million things. Like, if they just play Boarding Party or something right now, it's so bad for us. Mole Drifter. Boy, if I had just grabbed an untapped land, that would have been so much better. Oh, they've got Ice on upkeep. All right, Troll, cycle. I guess let's just grab Geobog. Yeah, grab Geobog. Ice, play this. They're definitely avoiding the Exhumes. Utopia Sprawl, is red. All right, they have all the mana in the universe. Altasaur, Cascades, into Ent. Mole Drifter attack. Oh, come on. Do you have another Ice? No, they don't. Okay, thank God. The only thing I can do at this point is just Exhume Ent, right? All right, Exhume. Grab the Ent. They didn't bother to pop their food. Mana. Boarding Party. Cascades into Lorien revealed. I gotta say, the blue is really paying off for them. One volley, Acid Moss, our Greenland. Cool. Oh, and Scred. Is this lethal? It is lethal, right? Wow. All right, fuck Rotten Reunion. Let's just beat them on the Dredge. No lands, Mole. All right, it's a bunch of tap lands. It's also land cyclers. It's something. Keep, put back, Lotless. Play this, go. Utopia Sprawl on blue. All right, let's actually play some stuff. Blanchwood, trigger, grab a forest. We milled Stinkweed, Dread Return. Back to them. Tap land for them. 2 mana. Elf. Relic of Progenitus. This is just insanity. I guess I get rid of... Man, Relic that I can't beat this. I'll get rid of Dread. Do I even dredge Stinkweed? Like, and into what? I guess I do. I have to put enough stuff in here that it makes them have to use this at some point, I suppose. All right, Blanchwood, trigger. We bricked. Brilliant. All right, combat. Swing with this dude. It's like the fact that they can develop and interrupt and disrupt us at the same time. Yeah, Acid Moss. We lose our red land, so we can't unearth Scrapwork anymore. This is any forest, right? So it just goes and fetches your blue tap land. I mean, what are we gonna do? Like combat, swing. Do I just play Stinkweed Imp here? There's no way I can aggro them down before they just drop bombs, right? At the same time, like fetching red lands for Scrapwork just seems so bad. All right, let's just play Stinkweed. Thermokarst, we lose our black mana. Thermokarst again. Cool. All right, let's go grab the red one. Play this. Combat, swing. Fire on Stinkweed. The problem is I can't even really do anything from my graveyard that's of any relevance because if I Dread Return, they just pop in response. Yeah, all right. Relic, eat the whole graveyard. So what did I lose in particular? I'm down 1 Dread Return. That's kind of it. 1 Dread Return, 1 Stinkweed. Evoke Mole Drifter. All right. Haunted Mire, combat, swing. Should I just have Ray of Revelation in this match? It feels like they just have lands anyway, so what does it matter? Boarding Party, Cascade into Relic. Oh, awesome. Man, I love games being won or lost based on random hits off the top, don't you? Well, we can't attack anymore. Our graveyard's dead. We're going to lose. So we're out of here. Is Cascade the worst mechanic ever made? No, it's not. That's recency bias. Initiative and Monarch are worse. Companion's worse. It's in the top 5, though, for sure. All right, this looks fine. We will keep. We're on the draw. Mountain. All right, actually, I'd like to see Mountain in this matchup. Foundry Street Denizen. Because Mountain equals aggro deck equals we can Gnaw to the Bone. Speaking of. All right, Swamp, go. Dredge is probably in the same tier as Cascade, even though I love Dredge. In terms of, like, how awful it is. Well, I mean, there's tons of them. Like Storm would be in the same tier, right? I feel like Dredge isn't nearly as bad though, because Dredge has a clear-cut way to beat it. 5 damage off of this 1-drop. Very cool. Dredge, you just bring in Graveyard Hate and then Dredge loses. All right, am I playing Blanchwood or Mire Triton? I guess it doesn't really matter. I mean, if this bricks, then being a 2/2 is more important, I suppose. So let's play this. Trigger. Actually, I can choose not to take the land, right? I probably should just choose to take the land, though. They're probably playing more creatures, and I'm going to block Foundry Street. Yeah, let's just take the land. Back to them. I also don't care if I trade because I just want to gnaw. Hello, Capel. Blast Runner. And Bolt our guy, and then we're taking 6. See, red is a problem in Pauper. I think I have to play Mire Triton here because I need the life. So play Mire. So trigger, mill 2, play this, back to them. And then I can trade with something, taking at least 5, if not more than 5. And then maybe we can start gnawing to gain our life out of this. Swing, 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 swing. All right, block Blast Runner. Good thing about Dredge is that you can hate on it whilst not effing up your own sideboard. For Storm or Cascade, it gets progressively worse. Like, you need Graveyard Hate anyway against Reanimator. And also, Dredge is just, like, very linear. You just bring in Graveyard Hate and Dredge loses. All right, I don't have the time to do anything but gnaw, so we're just going to play a land. Do I do it now? No, I don't. I'm going to, like, they could potentially have double instant speed removal, but if they had instant speed, if they had removal, they would have just killed Mire Triton last turn, right? Plays Blast Runner, trigger this dude. All right, so cycle Troll, grab a land, cast Gnaw to the Bone. 17, no blocks, obviously, get down to 12 or 11. Another Gnaw to the Bone is excellent. All right, so land, let's play Satyr. Gets more hits in the graveyard, so trigger. We bricked on it, that's fine though. Play land. All right, I only have a single green source. All right, well, play Stinkweed. What's this Reanimator deck you're speaking of? It is Golgari, I guess Dredge is the more accurate term. Like, technically it does both, but when you think Reanimator, you think a deck, you don't think of this, I think, when you think of Reanimator. All right, we got 2 blocks, and then next turn we can gnaw for even more. And if they kill Stinkweed, then we start dredging and then gaining even more life. I think Ulamog's Crusher, yeah, like big bomb thing that wins the game as opposed... Well, I mean, Lawless Giant is a big bomb thing that wins the game, but I guess this deck would be more accurately described as Dredge. All right, so this has Menace. I guess I am blocking more damage by double blocking this. Yeah, all right, double block this guy. Stinkweed trigger. Yeah, Dredge Stinkweed. Okay, so I can go Scrapwork, ditch Stinkweed, and then have more creatures in the graveyard probably for the gnaw. So let's Scrapwork, trigger. Actually, what's my graveyard count right now? I have 12 creatures. Yeah, that's not enough. All right, so ditch the Stinkweed, then dredge the Stinkweed. 15 creatures. This thing's gonna die anyway, so attack. All right, Gnaw to the Bone. We're at 36. Take that, red. I guess we just keep dredging, right? Dredge. There's Acorn Harvest. We have 16 creatures in the yard. They're almost dead. Acorn, Stinkweed. If I dread right now, it's 16 damage, which doesn't actually kill them. So I want to just hit them in one shot. Tomb Raider. Swing, 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 swing. I'm fine with just blocking here. Like, we're going to win the long game. Block, block, block. Always block their goblins in case they're running Goblin Grenade. Red versus Blue is a great series. Indeed, it was. I watched it up to, I think, what is it, season 13? That is like, it stops being good after that. That's what I heard anyway. I didn't bother to watch it past that. Okay, so I can go Scrapwork, discard, Acorn, Dread, Scrapwork, discard, Acorn, Flashback, Acorn. No, I can just do Stinkweed. Yeah, Stinkweed, Scrapwork, Mutt, Dread, return, they lose. So Stinkweed, actually, hang on. Combat, attack with this guy. Oh, I should have unearthed the thing. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Scrapwork, trigger, bin this, then Acorn Harvest, so they can't, like, instant speed removal one of my guys in response. And then Dread on the Lotless Giant. Oh, am I one short? Because the Scrapwork's gonna... I am one short. Well, target Lotleth, eat this guy. Oh, I have an Exhume. Do I have a second Lotleth? Troll, yeah, I do. Exhume. Lotleth. Blam, -12. Take that, burn. All right. Gnaw, and I think that's it, right? Flaring Pain irrelevant. Ancient Grudge, I mean, it's not irrelevant, but trying to snipe their artifacts seems like a losing proposition. They play Great Furnace, and then the other ones are like Synthesizer, Implement, random tokens. That just seems like not worthwhile. Rave Revelation useless, Rotten Reunion useless. The tokens can't block, so not in. What comes out? Probably Acorn Harvest. Yeah, let's take out an Acorn Harvest. All right. Oh, if they have Graveyard Hate, it's Relic. You're right. I probably do need Ancient Grudge, eh? Well, we'll see. Well, let's keep this. Blast Runner. All right, Haunted Mire, go. Epicure attacks. They're not popping their blood, seemingly. Not popping the blood. All right, back to us. But they didn't do anything else either. All right, Bog. Over to them, and then we'll just cycle Ent. Land number 3. Bushwhacker. Still not sacking the blood. 12. Cycle this Ent. Grab a Forest. All right, is it better to play Wayfinder or Stinkweed? We start dredging with this, and it's the most mana-efficient thing to play. It also trades with everything pretty well. All right, let's play Stinkweed. What do you think of Rubble Belt Maverick for this deck? Is that Pauper legal? Isn't it an uncommon? Another Bushwhacker. Oh, it is a common. Wow. Are we dead? Double Bushwhackers? I can't block this thing because it has Menace. So block here, 5, 8, 11. Yeah, we're dead. Wow. So if I'd played Mire Triton, I would have survived. Let's just get rid of Acorn Harvest. I'll bring these in case they have Relic. I don't know. Rubble Belt Maverick seems okay for this deck. Do we have any other land? No. Mull. All right. Wow, this is super awkward. All right, keep this and put back one of the Lotleth Giants. So we've got a turn 3 reanimate here because we go turn 2 Scrap Mutt, discard Guy, turn 3 Exhume. Great Furnace, Tin Street. Oh, actually, wait, no, because both of our lands are tapped. All right, play this. Back to them. Oh, we get to get a Troll back, though, which I guess is better than Lotleth. I don't know about Rubble Belt because it's only 2 and it's not doing anything else you want. Synthesizer into Epicure, then land, Epicure, So cycle the Troll for the red duel. Then we'll Exhume Troll, play this, go. Now we have a really big creature that can block all their guys. Rebirth on the Synthesizer, revealing a mountain. Plays the mountain. Yeah, the more I play against red, the more I think Synthesizer has to get banned. This is a 5/1. Jesus. Oh, they have Bushwhacker on top of this? For God's sakes. Insanity. All right, I guess we're blocking Tomb Raider. How much damage is this? Do we even survive this attack? Hang on. 7, 9, 11, 13, 15, 17. I actually have to trade with the Foundry Street. It's fucking insane. All right. And we're actually just dead on the board, I think. Scrap work. What am I binning? I guess Lotleth Giant. We drew Knot of the Bone, but it's not enough. We can block 2 and still take lethal. Yeah, all right. All right, round 5. We're on the draw. I just think red aggro in every format has gotten completely out of control. And it's one of the reasons I hate Burn so much. Like, we're a quadruple Knot of the Bone Dredge deck, and it doesn't even matter. We just die before we can even cast it. All right, this is fine. We got turn to Exhume. Playing against Bosch and Roll. It is Tron. All right. Well, let's just go for the Troll plan. 1 and 1 on the Candy Trail Scry. Land, go. Not sure which version of Tron it is. Okay. It's a version that's playing an island. Grab a swamp. All right, try to Exhume. Really? Counterspell in Tron? Really? They probably have like 1 island in their deck as well, eh? Maybe not. Are they actually mono blue Tron and Pauper? All right. Well, that being the case, let's play Scrap Mutt and ditch Stinkweed Imp, I guess. Scrap Mutt. Trigger, ditch that, Dredge. All right, tap land, go. Impulse. I guess they're mono blue Tron with presumably Muldrifter and something else. Haunted Fengraph. So this is return creature at random from the grave. Expedition map. All right, first things first, we're definitely going to combat. Combat, swing. I'm also definitely not casting Dread Return into open blue mana. Or rather, I'm not flashing back Dread Return into open blue mana. All right, let's just keep doing stuff. So Satyr Wayfinder. I guess I need to play around Condescend, right? Yeah. Satyr Wayfinder. Grab a Forest. More Acorn Harvest. All right, let's just get more power on the board. Acorn Harvest. So that resolves. Pops Candy Trail and not the map. Brainstorm. So it'd be interesting if they put back cards they don't want and then upkeep map them. Yep, nope, not doing that. I thought for a second they might do that. Okay, well, power plant. So they get Tron next turn. We're very far away from even killing them. All right, combat, attack with everything. All right, let's Dread Return on Troll, I suppose. Yeah, so land, Dread Return on Troll. Mirror Shell Crab, sure. All right, flashback on the Troll. Sack these 1/1s, back to them. Then they map for the final Tron piece. What's Mirror Shell Crab on the face? It's a 5/7 with Ward, sure. All right, Tower, they have 4 cards. Expo map, pops the Expo map. Reveals Desert, so they can kill our 1/1s but not Troll, okay. Interesting. Unauthorized Exit, bounce a permanent, surveil 1, sure. So if I just play a Troll, then they can counter it, but they're always gonna be able to counter it. Anyway, combat, attack with the Mutt. Like, if they have counters, they have counters. We can't really do anything about that. The alternative is, deploy multiple other threats, but then we're just playing worse threats. And they have Tron, so they're never going to run out of like excess mana. Mirror Shell Crab, yeah, can't pay. They can also Fengraph the crab back to their hand. 7. Boulder Branch Golem. 6/5, gain life equal to power. Sure. I guess I just play another troll. Yeah. All right, no reason to attack with these anymore because of desert. Yeah, all right, just play troll. Does crab counter abilities or is it just Monoleak? Spell or ability. Fengraphs get the crab back. All right, so they've got crab. They can actually just play the crab, right? As a 5/7. Lorien Revealed. This is doing pretty well for them, I would say. Marauding Brinefang cycles. It is a 6/7 island cycling ward 3. Attacks with this. Sure. We're at 11. I guess if Desert picks this off, that's fine. Crab, we can't get around the crab. Like, the crab is always going to hit something regardless, so... Satyr Wayfinder. Total Brick, although we did hit Dread Return, and we can Dread Return through the crab at some point. All right, let's just go to combat. Attack. All right, they take a bunch of damage, and they're going to Desert this thing. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so we want a double spell here, so let's Blanchwood Prowler, trigger this. Bricked on that too. All right, cast Acorn Harvest. That also resolves. Bounce Troll to hand. I'm surprised they took the hit if they had a bounce spell. I guess they just needed to make sure we didn't kill them with, like, Lotleth. No attacks from them. So they're holding up Crab and 3 other potential cards. So I guess if I Dread Return, if they have double counters, then the Dread Return fizzles, which is okay. Or they just have a really big Condescend. All right, let's try Dread Returning Lotleth. Dread Return on Lotleth. Sack, sack, sack. So I assume this is Condescend, and they just need to make sure I can't pay for it. That does mean their shields down on, yeah, shields down on the Mirror Crab, right? So Condescend X equals 8, so no payments. And they scry. So unless they have a third Condescend, we can just cast Lotleth right now and kill them. All right, Lotleth, trigger. Boom, we got it. All right, Mono Blue Tron. So Ray's useless. Rotten is not useless, but it only just stops like Fengraph, so who cares? Flaring Pain, pretty useless. Knot of the Bone, I'm also going to say, is probably pretty useless. So what does Ancient Grudge do for us? We can blow up, maybe, maps and whatnot before they're able to crack them. Like, that's a really big maybe on that. I guess they also just have artifact creatures, right? Yeah, I guess we should bring in all the Ancient Grudges. So all the Ancient Grudges come in, all the Gnaws come out, and what's the next worst card here? It's probably just Blanch. I'm inclined to say Blanchwood Prowler is like the worst creature in the deck in most cases. You know, let's do that. Also, they probably have Relic of Progenitus and like other... I mean, they're Tron. They have artifacts we need to get rid of. 1 land, no land cyclers. That's them all. All right, this is keepable, and we're going to chuck Lotleth. Yeah, chuck Lotleth. Here's a mine. Relic. Yep. Well, we need to hit red. Another Ancient Grudge. They already got Tron going. Jeez. And all of our red lands are tapped. Another Ancient Grudge. Brilliant. I mean, do I just Stink Dredge? I guess. No, I just need to hit lands, right? Ugh. So if I play Scrapwork Mutt right now, I'm ditching Stinkweed Imp, and then what? I can dredge it, but I can't do anything with that. And then they'll just pop Relic. Although they don't have to. I really just need to hit red mana, though. That's the issue. Like, as long as... I guess I don't have to discard a card, right? But also just playing this for a 2/1 seems bad as well. All right, let's just pass. So we just turn 3, ditch Grudge, and then flash it back. So map gets the thing. All right, they've got Tron online. Play this. Play Scrapwork Mutt. Trigger. Ditch Ancient Grudge. And then we just keep passing. So then they use this, and then we Grudge, and then they pop it. Get this, and then they pop it. Well, at least we handled it. Well, now they got Tron online. Although, thankfully, in Pauper, colorless mana doesn't actually help that very much with casting, like, big broken stuff. They usually need some kind of colored mana to do anything. Lorien Revealed. Well, there's the island. 7. Boulder Branch Golem. Yep. Can we get something? Apparently not. All right. I mean, I could play Stinkweed to block this, but they just have bounce spells in their hand. I'm probably better off Wayfindering to just try to set up more graveyard stuff. Wayfinder. I could also, if I hit a land, I could potentially Exhume. Indeed. Play this. Play Exhume. Get back a troll. Over to them. Combat attack. Do I block this? I'm going to say no. Another tower. And then they're just passing. All right. Ooh, I can discard Grudge and shoot this. Combat. I assume they're going to bounce troll, or they're just holding counter spells up. Swing. Capsizing thing. Return target creature to its owner's hand. Sure. A bounce. Damage? Okay. Do I even need to blow this up? Probably. I probably need to not just waste time. I can also just Dread Return the troll out. That seems pretty good. So, Scrapwork, trigger, ditch this, kill this thing while they don't have mana up. Then Dread Return, get the troll back. Yum, yum, yum. Let's make sure we have red mana. Cycle this. Grab Bog. Play Bog. I could have waited a turn, like I didn't need to save life, but I just like get it off the field, make sure we're not just taking damage when we don't need to. So this thing is a 6/6 that if you cast any non-creature spell, it's unblockable. So it's a 6/6 that's unblockable. Self-assembler into another self-assembler. And Urza's mine. All right, well, blow this up. We just drew every copy of Ancient Grudge, which is pretty sweet. Kill that. Blow this up. Play this. Play Stinkweed. Attack with Troll. Boulder Branch, gain a bunch of life. Play Self-Assembler. So they've got one more. All right. Oh, man, if I play Ent here and they just have Condescend. All right, combat. Swing with the Troll. Takes damage. Play this Ent. They do not have Condescend. Play this. Go. Impulse. I gotta say, the Mono Blue Tron is doing pretty well. Deck is sweet. 7 for Repeal the Ent. And then play another island. All right. Swing. Really? Swing? Okay. Block Boulder Branch. Triggers. We kill their Boulder Branch. We take 4 from Self-Assembler, I think. Oh, they're going to bounce it with that ability on the step. Oh, counter the ability with Mirror Shell. All right. Well, I mean, it is what it is. And then play another Self-Assembler. Yeah. Okay. So that's all of them. Yeah. Dredge Stinkweed. All right. So we've got some scrap works. They're at 17. And I have 7 creatures in the yard. All right. Let's just play the End. And then I don't think I can afford to attack anymore. So back to them. They do have this thing as well, which we can't block ever. So we can't just sit back doing nothing. This is random, right? Return a creature at random. Gets back Boulder Branch off the Fengraph. Bounces Ent back to hand. Plays the Boulder Branch. Gains a bunch of life. If they just attack with Boulder Branch, I block Boulder Branch. If they attack with Self-Assembler as well, I block that. Oh, actually, no, I can't. I have to block this, right? Or else I die. So block here. All right. Well, this is rough. We have 8 creatures. So just playing an Ent doesn't work. What's my out? I can play Stinkweed to block, but then I still need 2 more blockers. Or 1 blocker plus a food token activation. I think I'm almost certain, like, I'm not going to unearth the Mutts probably. So let's Satyr Wayfinder. Trigger this. Nothing of value in there. Oh boy. So, yeah, it's play Imp, crack a food, survive at 1 life. If they have no other interaction. I think that's all I can do. Yep, Stinkweed. Over to them. Plays another Tron land. Swing, block here, 4 damage, crack. All right, we're at 1. They lose 1 guy, presumably, and then they still have double self-assemblers. And then they play this huge thing that I can't block. Yep, Sword Coast Serpent. So the Ent is not going to be helpful, so I may as well cycle it now to get land and get our creature count up. The Forest, untap, 100% Dredging Stinkweed. All right, we hit Dread Return. I can't Acorn Harvest. Oh, we only have 1 red mana, so I can only Scrapwork once. Oh, I can Acorn Harvest if I pop a food, right? So we have 13 Oh, we're never going to hit 23 in 1 turn, though. And I cut all the Gnaws. All right, Scrapwork. This comes out. Ditch the Stinkweed. Dredge the Stinkweed. Ancient Grudge, we can kill 1 thing. So we grudge 1 of these, and then we still need 2 blockers, which means I have to play Stinkweed and something else. I don't know what. Actually, the Acorns can give me multiple blockers, right? It's just this thing can kill me if they draw any non-creature spell. Ugh. If I Dread Return on Lotleth, it's 15, which isn't enough. How do I get more into the graveyard? I don't think I can. All right, food, Acorn Harvest. There's nothing I can Dread Return that matters, right? I guess I can Dread Return Ent and have a food token, and then that blocks 1. We gain 3, and I kill this one. So Acorn. Well, I mean, if they have a thing for the Serpent, we're just dead anyway, right? So 16 creatures. I'm not winning this game unless I Dread Return the Lotleth, though. Like, there's no way. So let's just play Man, okay, so I play Stinkweed, and then it's block, block, block. We have no creatures, and we're in the same position again. Versus get back an Ent, block food token. No, block Grudge. Block Grudge. We're still dead. I can't Dread Return this turn. 16. Yeah, can't do it. Kill this. Exactly enough back. I guess we just have squirrel, and that's it. All right. No, it didn't matter. We're dead. Should I have a Knot of the Bone in the main deck for exactly that kind of situation? I don't know. I feel like if I'm behind on the board, I'm just going to lose anyway. I mean, I can cut 1 Blanchwood Prowler for it. I guess that's fine. All right, submit that. On the play, we have some stuff that's good enough to keep, so we're keeping. Let's play this, and then we're just going to cycle Troll for the red land, probably. Hello, I came from YouTube. Welcome. You're catching us in the 5th round of a league. Cycle the Troll. Grabbing Geobog. All right, play this. Play Mire Triton. Trigger this. Milled Lotleth land. Okay. What do you think about crawling infestation in this new dredge? Is it Pauper legal? Urza land. Well, we drew Grudge. Combat, swing. Opponent, island cycles, marauding, this thing. All right, well, now they have counter spells open, unfortunately. Combat, swing. If they counter, they counter. Dread return on Lotleth. Oh, it resolved. All right, 15. Bounce our guy back. Ooh, we drew Exhume, although, no, it exhumes this thing. Ugh. 6/7, ward 3. Yeah, I can't do it. All right, combat. Attack with the Mire Triton. Then let's play Stinkweed and pass to them. So Crawling Infestation is upkeep, mill 2. Whenever one or more creature cards are put in your graveyard from anywhere during your turn, create a 1/1. I don't think you want this because the main plan is to pay off with Lotleth Giant, but I mean, it's maybe. It's also not a creature, which means it doesn't work with anything else you're doing, like Knot of the Bone, etc. They opted not to play this thing. All right, combat, swing. Well, I guess I'm fine just continuing to hit them with these. So back to them. Plays that thing. Still holding mana open. And our grudges don't kill this because it's not an artifact. Yeah. All right, well, we just have to keep hitting them. Combat, swing. If they want to block Mire, they can. They are not. All right, play Stinkweed. Exclude. Counter a creature, draw a card. Very well, sir. I actually do want a Dredger in my graveyard. Lorien revealed. Attacks with the Serpent. 16. Well, they actually went to clean up, discard a Tron land. Sure. Dredge Stinkweed. We milled over Dread Return, a bunch of creatures. All right, combat, swing. They're at 4. Play another Stinkweed. Mirror Shell Crab to counter. I realize now that there's actually no Lotleths in my graveyard, so I can't exhume to kill them, but man, that would have been nice if I could. Well, since I can't, it's just back to them, I guess. Will they continue to attack? They will. All right, we're at 10. And then here comes the Boulder Branch dude. Yep, Boulder Branch dude. Gain a bunch of life. Desert. All right, grudge this thing. It's dead. Oh, and we can never block this because they can just make it unblockable. Dredge Stinkweed. Acorn Harvest. We still haven't hit. Well, we have 2 Lotleths in our hand, so I mean, it makes sense that we haven't hit. Oh, no, we did hit. There is a Lotleth over here. All right, so combat, swing. They're at 7. Desert our dude. All right, let's try to resolve Exhume, hopefully. Keep 3 mana open for crabs. Actually, I think their gain life trigger resolves first, right? So we would actually not kill them if they bring back Boulder Branch. I was thinking we would, but I guess we actually don't. X equals 3, so they want me to pay for this? Sure, pay for it. Yeah, so their Boulder Branch resolves before our damage resolves, so they'll just stay even. All right, well, they're countering it anyway. It's seemingly. Condescend, yeah, we can't pay for it. All right, well, over to them. We're just going to die to this Serpent. Lorien revealed. Relic of Progenitus. Yep. Well, we're going to lose now. Yeah, we're dead. Okay, so the deck is fun in theory, but man, like, you just insta-lose to Graveyard Hate. Your opponent plays Relic, you just immediately lose the game. And I don't know why there's not 4 Exhumes. Like, one of the best things you can do is Exhume Troll. If that's one of your options, I feel like you should just always have the 4th Exhume. It does feel like it's a deck that's very hard for, like, mid-range value to beat in game 1. But then post-board, they just bring in any Graveyard Hate, usually Relic of Progenitus, and you lose the game. And you don't really have a good answer to that. Like, yeah, you have Ancient Grudge, but you have to have drawn one of your Ancient Grudges, and they still get a card off their Relic. You still lose anything that you set up in your graveyard at that, but until that point. There's also just a lot of times where, like, the Lotleth isn't lethal. Even against the red deck, for example, we just saw how, despite triple, quadruple Knot of the Bone, it doesn't matter. They can just kill you before you get going. Also, the creature quality here is very poor. Obviously, you're playing just a bunch of self-mill stuff that all these creatures suck. Even Acorn Harvest isn't that good either. So you mostly have a deck that is all just built around setting up this engine of trying to kill them in one shot with Lotleth Giant. And if that doesn't work for a myriad of different reasons, the deck falls apart. I also really don't like how many tap lands are in here because you have to play these red tap lands for scrap work and sideboard cards. So there's lots of awkward turns where you like I had multiple games where I could have been able to exhume on turn 2 a troll or something, but I didn't because I had these lands entering tapped, so my curve was all thrown off. I expected the deck to be a lot better than it actually was. And while initially the novelty factor and like how interesting or how different of a deck it was than the rest of the Pauper field made it initially pretty fun, by the end of it, it just felt like a deck that was very anemic. I'm not sure what you would do to change this Dredge plan, though. Like, Lotleth is really the only payoff. You kind of need this whole engine in order to set all of this up in the first place. It doesn't feel like you really have any way of stopping opposing graveyard hate from just absolutely wrecking you. So I don't know. The only other thing I can think of is to go like really go all in turbo mill and just don't even play any of these creatures and just play like the blue mill spells. But then how are you getting enough creatures for lot lift to kill them? Like that's the problem. What is there? There's like Merfolk's Secret Keeper, and then after that, nothing really that's a creature that also mills enough cards. You could potentially also have like cantrips plus Stinkweed Imp and just rely entirely on dredge creatures and not any of these guys. But again, then you have fewer creatures in your deck, so I don't know. I think it was a fine novelty deck, but I don't really think this is going to have legs long term. Stinkweed's too hard to get into the graveyard consistently. Yeah, you either have to randomly mill into it or you have to have scrap work plus it's in your hand in order to get rid of it. There are other dredge creatures that you can play, so it doesn't have to be entirely Stinkweed. Your media recommendation of the day is the YouTube channel Oversimplified, who makes animated edutainment videos, basically. They are essentially historical videos, mostly about wars, but not always, that are done in a humorous style. Not that he really needs my help, because he's got 8 million subs, but it is of high quality, very entertaining, very funny, and informative. So, Oversimplified.